Hey guys, how y'all doing? My name is Bill. Welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to go over tabs and bridges when you're using MillMage. MillMage is a new CNC program that's coming out. It's still not out for the public yet, but they're working on it, and hopefully it'll be released to us fairly soon. But I'm going to go over the tabs and bridges with you, and let you see the different things that MillMage has with that. So if it's something you want to see, stick around because we're going to jump into this, and I'm going to teach you a little bit about the tabs and bridges. Alright, so we're going to go in here into MillMage. I almost said Lightburn because that's what I'm used to. Well, we're in MillMage. And in MillMage, you see I have here a couple of different diagrams. And the thing you have to realize is that this is going to be the top of your wood, this is going to be the bottom of your wood. Same thing here, this is going to be the top of your wood, that's going to be the bottom of your wood. And of course down here, that's the top of your wood, that's the bottom of your wood. Now I have ramp. I have partial retract, and then I also have full retract. And I'm going to go over what each one of those things are, what they mean, or what maybe you would use them for. But this is what we're going to be using as a demonstration to be able to cut it out, and we're going to add our tabs and bridges to this right here. But the thing you got to know is whatever your thickness of your wood is. So when you start up MillMage, it's going to ask you all these settings here. This is the advanced setting of it, but you're going to want to make sure that you do put in here your thickness, your Z thickness, which I'm going to use today is 10 millimeters. So once you get that put in here, then you know you can go ahead and start going through the process of setting these up, so you know what tab and bridge you might want to use. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to select both of these, because that's what we're going to use as a demonstration of cutting out. Then you're going to come over here, you're going to click New Operation. You're going to go into Profile, because we're going to actually, what Profile is going to do is it's going to profile out around it, and we're going to cut that out. That's what we want to have. So Profile, and we're going to select our tool here, and we're going to use a 2 millimeter end mill. And start depth is going to be 0. We're going to start at the top of the wood, and our final finish depth is going to be 10 millimeters. And our depth per pass, whatever you're going to use, I'm just going to say 2 for now, just to go with that. Now we're going to go outside, and this is where you're going to be able to get your tabs and your bridges. It's going to be right here. So you can add your tabs and bridges by clicking that button right there. Now as you see here, you got full retract, partial retract, and ramp. What each of those are is going to be in the diagram I'm going to show you, and you're going to be able to set up your tab size. Tab size is how long your tabs are going to be. Your tab height is going to be how high off the bottom your tab is going to come up. So if you're doing a full retract, the tab height is cleared out because it's actually going to cut that out 10 millimeters, as you see right here. That is the full retract. It's going to come, I'll show you in a minute. But you cannot adjust your tab height on that. If you do a partial retract, now you can adjust your tab height to where if you want to have it 1 millimeter or 2 millimeters or 3, whatever it is you need to have. If you're real aggressive with your bit, you go a lot harder. You might want a thicker tab height. If you're more conservative and you let the bit do its work, and you're not really pressed with time, then you can go ahead and drop that down a little bit. Whatever it is you're looking for. The thicker you make these, the harder they are to get out, and then you got to do more sanding to get that flush with the side of your wood. So whatever size you need to do, that's going to be what you're going to put in here for your tab height. That's for a partial retract. Now if you come down to ramping, you can also do your tab width, or the size. That's how long your tab is, and then you can also do your tab height, how high from the bottom it goes up. So I'm going to put these at 1 at the tab height, and I'm going to just change all these to 6. Okay? Now once you click your tab and bridges and you pick which one you want to do, then you're going to go ahead and get your tab size and then your tab height, and you're going to click OK. Now this is what we're looking at here. If you do the ramp, we'll start with the ramping right here. This represents the bottom of your wood. This represents the top of your wood. So we know this is 10 millimeter space here. This is your router. What it's going to do is it's going to come across a lot more straighter than I'm going to be able to do. And then when it gets to this point here, it's going to start going up on an angle When it gets to the top of that, then it's going to drop down and come down this way, and then it's going to finish off. It's going to keep going around. So that's what ramping is going to do. I like the ramping. Ramping's pretty good, either ramping or partial, which we're gonna go into now. But same thing, you got the top of your wood on this line. This one is the bottom. This represents the tab or bridge, whatever you want to call it. It is 1 millimeter high and it is 6 millimeters long. What your router is going to do, it's going to come around and it's going to come to this point here, and it's going to go straight up 1 millimeter. Then it's going to come across. When it gets to the side, the other side is going to come down 1, and it's going to continue off and make the rest of its cut. So that's what a partial retract is going to be. The full retract, I don't know. I've never used it. You can drop a comment of when you would have used it or why you would have used it. But this is going to take a lot longer because every time it comes to a tab or a bridge, it's got to go all the way to the top of the wood. So it's going to come across, and it's going to come all the way up 10 millimeters up. It's going to come across 6 millimeters. Then it's going to come down to 10 millimeters. Then it's going to carry on with the cut as it goes across then. So that's the difference between a ramp, the partial retract, and the full retract. I would either use the ramp or the partial retract. That's the two that I would use. Now we're going to get into adding tabs and bridges to your workpiece. So if you come in here and this is turned off, then you cannot add any tabs and bridges to it. You can add it to it, but when you go to cut it out, and I'm going to show you here, if you was to go and cut this out, and you click this diagram here, you're going to see it's not going to put any in there. And I'm pretty sure that's where I put it at, so you would see that tab in there. So you're going to want to make sure you select both of your things here, your work pieces. Then you're going to come over here and double click your profile that you did. Make sure you turn on that, and we're going to put on the ramping. Now your ramps, your tabs and bridges are going to be 6 millimeters long, and I had it set for 1 millimeter high. So we have one set there, and now we have one set at the bottom. If we look at the preview now, we are on fine, and you look into the bottom. I'm trying to get this to where you can see it pretty good. If you look into the bottom there, you'll see you got your bridge and tab. Now it's hard to see it, but it's going to be flat. Then it's going to come up to that point, 3 millimeter high. Then it's going to go the other 3 millimeters across, down, back down to the bottom. That's going to be the ramp. If you was to change the ramp, click on this, change that to a partial, leave it 6 millimeters long and 1 millimeter high, and now you come into your preview button. You're going to see in there it's going to be flat. There is no nothing coming up. So you might have been able to see that a little bit better if I would have put that up a lot higher. But that is going to be flat. It's going to come across. It's going to come up 1 millimeter. It's going to go across the 6, go down the 1 millimeter, and then it's going to continue with its cut around till it gets back down to this bottom one, is where we put the other one at, right there. And then it's going to come across, come up 1 millimeter, go across 6, down 1 millimeter, and then it's going to keep running its path. So that's how you're going to add your tabs. And you can add your tabs as many as you want just by clicking on it. If you click this one here, this is your add tabs. You can click as many as you want. And if you're like, well, I don't need that many, let me get rid of this one here, you can click on it and or hover over it, hit the D key to delete it, or delete key. Oh, delete everything. Let me get out of there. If you double click it, it will get rid of it. I thought the D key also got rid of it as well, but it don't. So if you double click it, it will get rid of those. Just hover over it, double click it. Now, if you are setting tabs in, this is going to be your exterior part of it. It's going to come down. This is going to be an interior part. You don't want to put any tabs on the interior part. You want to try to eliminate that the best you can. You want to put them on the exterior parts. So whether you put it here, and then you put one here, and you got rid of this one, that would be fine. Or if you wanted to put one over here also, and then also one over here, you can do that. Because if you go to cut these out, and you have it in here, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to have to get in there with a little sandpaper, and you're going to have to really sand that down to get that part that you cut out back flush again with your wood. So I wouldn't put any in there, and you can also slide them around too. I would put them on the exterior part of it. That would make it a lot easier sanding. But you can click and hold, and you can drag them around wherever you want to go with them too. So remember, double click, double left click gets rid of it. And you can click and hold on, left click and hold, and you can drag it around. Or you can just left click and add a node. So those are the ways that you can add your nodes and take them away and readjust them if you wanted to. So, but I think that's pretty much going to be it. This is a real quick short video. It's just going over tabs and bridges, how you can add them, how you can take them away, and what the difference between ramp, partial retract, and full retract is. And like I said, if you've used full retract and you have a good reason why you do, drop me a comment down below. Let me know why you use those. To me, it's just so much longer to do. It just adds time to your project. But if there's a good reason why you do it, it would be awesome to know. But I usually use the ramp or the partial. So those are the ones that you can use there. Now you can also come down here, and then you can also click one there, and you can put them wherever. If you use them, if you're trying to cut both of these out, you can do that. But like I said, left click, double left click to get rid of them. So I think that's it. And you go in your operation. If you're setting up a new operation, you can do it, or if you already have an operation set up, you can double click that, and then you can still exit and do your thing here. One thing I was having a little mess up with is when I was trying to do these, I messed up and I had my wood at like 5, and I was trying to do a tab of 5, and it wasn't coming up. I'm like, okay, the full's coming up, but the partial and the ramping wasn't coming up, and it was driving me nuts where I couldn't get it. And I realized that my final depth was the same or lower than what the partial or the ramp was, so it wasn't going to show it. So always make sure that you got your final depth set right, along with your project setup edit. You got to make sure you have your thickness of your wood here. So once you get those set, this is only really if you're cutting something out completely. But if you're just in just going through with a V-bit, or you're just making a pocket or something, you don't need to worry about that so much as the thickness. It's only really when you're actually cutting that wood all the way out, you want to make sure you have that thickness correct in there. So I think that's going to be it. That's a real quick short video. I'm not used to those, but I just wanted to cover the tabs, adding tabs, taking tabs away, and what the difference is between the 3 different options that you have for your tabs and bridges. So I think that's going to be it. I appreciate you guys. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That helps out. And till the next video, I'm probably going to be working on making the last video I did was a tea light with the laser, and I want to make a tea light with the CNC, and I'm working on that. It's just going to take me a little bit to finally get it all. I finally got these to actually be able to get together, but I'll be dropping that video out here coming up. But I'll see if I can come up with something else a little short, maybe help you out with MillMage or Lightburn or something. So, but I appreciate you guys. Give me those thumbs up, subscribe, and till next one. And we'll see if we can come up with something else next for you. All right, thank you.